Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. Today's project is a seed packet with tag pockets. All right, and my inspiration are these little seed packets that I got at the Dollar Tree. And there's 4 in my little packet. Let me show you the base. This is still in progress. This is my little mock-up. So there's a little front here, and then some accordions, and then I just glued a piece here on the back that'll go up and around. And then my process is we're gonna glue those in there, and then this will come down, and then we can have a little closure with a button here and a button here and some twine. I think it's gonna be really cute. So in the meantime, we are continuing our little series on using up scraps. We're gonna use lots of scraps to decorate these little tags that will fit right inside of our little pockets. You want to make them just stick out a tiny little bit, and you want some room to kind of grow in there. That's important. Here's another little piece that we're going to be using as well. Let's see, for the tag, for the packet, I just am going to get pocket and packet mixed up all the way through this, I guarantee you. I have a little bit of this paper left, and we're going to be using that, I think, on the front. I should mention this is also from the series that I'm using, the Bow Bunny Brighten. This is 6 by 8.5 inches. I think this is the 5th video, maybe more, that I've done with this in a row. And I just wanted to show you guys like how many projects you can get from one little paper pad. And I've been enjoying that process. So I don't know if I can get more out of that, but we'll see. We'll see what the inspiration does. So yeah, I'll probably just use one full sheet, and then I've got some scraps here. So this is the one full sheet, and it'll probably have to go along the back and around the front. So that's the thought there. As far as the little seed pockets, so they come with this sort of horrid little price tag on them because they're from the Dollar Tree. I think most of these little seed pockets do. So what I've done was I've just taken, these are the little strips that come from the inside of the Bow Bunny paper pack, and you can just very easily take one of these little strips, they're this little tear off, and they're probably a 1/2 inch wide, and we're just going to take a little piece here and we're going to tear it, and if there's any little perforation, just clear that off. We're going to ink the bottom edge with a little bit of brown. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. And I've already got 2 done here. One has a flower, one has a button. I'm going to put this one right there. And let's see if I can come up with another one. We'll use the pink one again. So we're just going to tear, make sure we've cut off that perforation, ink the torn edge, and then we're going to put this one with a little flower on it. So every other one will have a flower or a button, just like that. And I'm using for my little flowers, I have got some little Pixie Petals from 49 and Market. I've also got, for embellishing today, some little sparklet jewels. And I've also got some little buttons. And I should mention that when I trimmed the packet top off here, I just took my scissors and I just trimmed just that much off that top, just to open those up, so that I had a nice clean edge for the tags. And then if I'm not ready to plant some of these seeds, so I just put them in a little recycled plastic thing. I think some buttons and things came in this. So yeah, save your little tiny packets. You never know what you can use for those. So I'm going to take some of these little Pixie Petals. I think I'm going to use one of these little lavender ones. They're so cute. And that's going to go right there, and then our pockets are all prepped. All right, done and done. All right, so these scraps we're going to be saving, and we're going to be using these to cover our little tags later. All right, so I'm going to be starting out with two 3.5 inch wide strips of cardstock. They're 3.5 inches wide because when I put my little seed packets on there, they're about 1/8 of an inch wider on each side. All right, that's what I'm going for. And then we're going to make sure that this part of the cardstock comes up to about there. I don't want it to cover all the way, so we're going to go about there. That's about 3.5 inches. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead, fold that over. Bone folder is nice to have. All right, then for the rest of this, we're going to need a scoreboard. Or you could just do accordion folding back and forth. That works totally great too. All right. Now I'm going to make these little accordions about 1/2 inch apart. So I'm just starting right here, and then we're going to go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 7. Let's see if I've got it the right amount. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I better do one more. You can always cut them off. I don't have to come back and do this again. And if you wanting more than 4 seed packets, just keep going. Structurally, I think you don't want to put too many in though. All right. So then we're going to fold. So we're going to have the first one go like this. We're just accordion folding back and forth. All right, so what we're done, when we're done, of course, this isn't long enough to kind of curl over the top. So we're going to cut that part away. The reason I'm starting with that 12-inch length is because I don't know how many you want to put into your little seed pocket. So you could keep going, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can trim that off right there. There we go. All right, there we go. And where did I put my bone folder? Here we go. I'm just going to make sure that these are well folded. Pretty happy with that. So that's going to be the the packet front right there. And now we need a piece to go along the back right here, and it's going to curl over. So I'm thinking about 6 inches is going to be good. So I'm going to cut that. All right, and we're going to glue that right there. Oops, wrong way. We're going to glue that right there. Yeah, that's going to be great. So we're just going to take a little paper and our little glue. Just like that. I'll trim off that little piece right there later. All right, and then this part right here, when we glue this right here, this is just going to fold right over. Definitely put your seed packet in before you fold it, because remember, this is not as tall as this. Okay. All right, so we're going to cover the outside of this with some paper, and I was thinking this one would be super charming, and then this one for the back flap. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come right back. All right, I have got my little packet covered with some paper here, front, back. I've left the inside here and here without paper because we're going to be sewing a button on, and then I want to cover that as well. So I've got my little empty little seed packet pockets glued in here. This last one is glued right here, and then it will stand up kind of like this. So I think that's going to work. Here's the last one to go in the front. I'm going to show you how that worked. A little bit of glue there. You don't want to get so much glue that it squishes over the top. And you do want to make sure that your little packets are lined up. That's why liquid glue is nice, because you can kind of move it around a little bit. Make sure that that folds front. This is going to fold over. Oop, that's a little tight, Lene. Probably would have made this a tiny bit longer. Actually, I think what it is this little button. We're just going to replace the button with a flower. Be flexible. Yep, that's going to work better. All right, so the next step is we're going to add a closure. So for the closure, we're going to put a button here and a button right here. And I'm going to use my pencil to mark where I want them. Right here. And then we're going to align that right down here. All right, now I have got a little awl, and that's A-W-L, not O-W-L. And then we've got some waxed twine, and that came in a little kit that I got from Amazon. It's usually used for like bookbinding and things like that. If you don't have these things, you could use a thumbtack or a tiny little nail. A thumbtack is nice because it has something to hold on to, you know, like the kind that has the little, you know, something to hold on to. You really want that sharp point. The needle just needs to go through whatever buttons you're using. That's the one I pulled off. Let's try this one. These are all the same size. You just want to make sure that it's going to go all the way through there. Okay. And then if you don't have the waxed thread, no worries. Dental floss would work. I have a lot of this. You know how the dentist always gives you more dental floss that you could use. I do floss. I just prefer to use a different type. So this would work great, and it's minty fresh. All right, so the other thing is we want to go ahead and use something that we can push through our cardstock and not have it hit the table. You want something kind of squishy. So like this is just a piece of cardstock, like from a cardstock. This is cardboard from a box, like from an Amazon box. You could also use like a mouse pad or even some craft foam that you might have. So I'm going to take a button, put the button right here, and we're going to make sure it looks good where we have it. Whoa! Don't do that. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And then we're just going to push it through. And then we're going to move that over to the next hole. We're going to push that through. See? All right, and then we're going to go ahead. And as far as how much wax twine you want it to wrap around one full time with a little bit extra. So we'll get that out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to tie kind of a big chunky knot. And then we're going to add glue to it so it's not going to go anywhere. But you want it to be thick enough so it's not going to pull through that button. It's going to go through the inside here. Oh, the first one's always the toughest one. There we go. All right, and then we're going to thread our button on. And then we're going to go back down through the other side. And then just make sure you go through your little pre-punched hole. Definitely advise pre-punching the hole because it's hard to work with a needle going through cardstock that's not pre-punched. It's just kind of a mess. And then it should get pretty easy from there. I've got hand lotion on my hands, so my hands look nice and respectable because I have very dry hands. And it's a challenge with this needle. There we go. All right, now when you get to the back, we're just going to take this, go through and make a knot. I'm going to trim that. I'm going to take this inside piece that we have, and we're just going to glue that right over the knot, but we're going to put an extra dollop there of glue. So that's really not going to go anywhere. And then you just kind of have to squish that like that. Get it kind of flattened. All right, first button down. I'm going to do the other button, but while we are waiting for that, let's go ahead and do our little decoration here on the outside, and then we'll do our final flip through. So I'm going to glue a little flower, a little button, little crystals right here. I've been using some little dazzle stickers we can add on there, and I'm going to make some tags, and then we'll come back and we'll do a final flip through of everything. All right, we're back. I've got my decorations here on the front using the little crystals, the buttons, the tiny flowers, and then I also like to use, these are tiny words and phrases dazzle stickers, and they're just the right size to add. I like just using a little pokey tool, and you just pull these right off like that. And all the links for everything, you guys, are down below this video. There we go. And I decided not to have my string wrap all the way around because the point of having the two buttons is so you can twist them around. I forgot. So yeah, you're just going to go ahead and at your last little button here, when you're stitching that through, then don't clip it off, and then you can just wrap it around. So I cut that down to, about 3 inches. All right, so now we're ready for our little pocket. So I've got my little tags here, and then all of those little scraps of paper I used to decorate my little tags. So these are going to go in the pockets, and this one right here just has the second little one. I use those same little dazzle stickers there for Make-A-Wish. There's a tiny little gold border here, which I love using the gold. It picks up the gold in the gold paper. And I used this well-loved sheet of, these are thin line dazzle stickers, and they come off just like this, and they're so nice to add just to the edges of things. Right there, the scalloped one. There's another little button. Inked all the edges of everything. The little scalloped crocheted ribbon. This is from the Dollar Tree. And then just a little bow there. And then on this one, if you've got scraps that are long pieces of paper, no worries, take one and put one right here, take a larger one and then trim that down. I had a little bit of this doily, this is a 4-inch wide paper doily. I put one going across, used the little scrap on the other side right here, added another little collection of the same flowers, more little dazzle stickers there, and then on this one, another little one, and then one of these, oh yeah, I just put a little piece of paper here and glued it on 3 sides so we have another little pocket. So that's where all these little pockets are. They're just strips of paper that are glued on 3 sides. I like to put a little decorative edge on each one. I think that really dresses them up. So you guys, these can just go right inside. These are so fun and I think would make a really sweet gift, you know, to give to a friend. And what's fun is you could leave some of these little seed packets with seeds in them, okay? Depending on which time of year their birthday is, that could be really fun for them to do a little planting. You could also put little gift cards in them. For graduation gift, you could put some cash in those little envelopes. I know grads really appreciate that. So we're going to put these all in here. And then we're just going to fold it up. Come on, there we go. And it makes the sweetest little pocket. I love how it turned out, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun doing this project with you. You guys, you can win this project for your very own. I would love to give it away. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to be entered to win this project, and I will send it to you in some happy mail. You do have to watch next week's video, next Monday's video, to see who the winner is, and then you have to follow the instructions to email me. I have lots of projects that don't get claimed, you guys, and they just sit there in a basket being all sad. So definitely follow the instructions on the following week's email. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.